Hello, my Teaserking family. I don't like my hair. How is everybody today? I hope you're well. I'm doing all right. So, been watching some YouTube stuff for us. There's one you're going to love from Davos, Switzerland. I don't know who this guy is. But he's giving us all hope because what he says is what we say. I'm still backwards. This is my left hand. God damn it. On my phone, it's correct. Here, it's reversed somehow. And I can't figure out how to do it. So I was watching this first. This is Rich Eisen not understanding, just as we say, why you don't kick field goals. This is the championship game. You need points. On the first drive, he says, you go back up 17, and you were up 17. They kick a field goal. You tied it. They need to pick up 17 points on you. You made it easy for them. Now you only need 14. They scored. You fumbled. Now the game's tied. So this is Rich Eisen saying, yeah, I know it's what you've done, and I know it's what you have done all year, and I know the analytics say it, but this is a championship game. And the thing that got him is he said, well, just before the half, he didn't go for the touchdown. There you kicked the field goal. Why aren't you kicking it on the other two drives? One to keep your 17-point lead and one to tie the game up. Now, because you went for it on the first one, you then needed a field goal to tie the game up. What happened to your 17-point lead? So it was a good one, but I got a better video for you, which you're gonna love. All right.
I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage
and okay.
everyone in this room can go fuck yourself. And so yes, I appreciate the world.
Okay, so you're gonna love this. I loved it. Guy's name's Damon Amani. Bam. I have no idea who he is. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, talking to Karl Schwab, the Nazi who's trying to run the forum and make us all slaves. All right. So I'm going to play this a few times today, but right now let's start off with it.
Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free. We will stay free. And you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself. And so yesterday I stood on this stage and said some things that I should not have said. But we all deserve a second chance. So I would like to apologize to absolutely no one. None of you were elected to show us how we should live our lives. All of you motherfuckers took your private jets to show up to this meeting, so don't lecture us about the environment. I ain't eating bugs. You can eat these nuts. And once again, you and your fake climate agenda can go fuck.
You mentioned that the biggest threat to a cohesive and sustainable world was security.
Mr. Schwab, I'm sorry, but the biggest threat to the world is the fake stream news media. And the second biggest threat to the world is this very organization, the World Economic Forum, which is the Communist Party that was not elected by the people. And that's why I keep telling y'all should go fuck yourself.
Trust has been eroding in recent years, which is why this week's meeting on rebuilding trust has been so important.
Rebuilding trust with whom exactly? I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. But here's the thing, as far as the public opinion is concerned, they don't trust you and they never will because they didn't elect you. And here's the thing, while we at it, Epstein didn't kill himself, and there are probably people in this very forum who were clients of him.
All right, now who didn't love that? He sounds stoic to me. We need to.
Because what's happening inside this building.
We need to have him in class. That's exactly what I would have done. And I would have had a bulletproof vest on, but that's a stoic guy saying, go fuck yourself. You're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Absolutely. I was a little scared there when he said, oh, I got to apologize. And then he said, fuck it, I'm not apologizing. Do these assholes realize nobody wants to be controlled? We all want Adam Smith and Austrian economics. We want freedom to choose what we want to do. We don't want to be told to get electric cars or the environment and bullshit stuff. And we won't own anything. I don't know. All I do is I hope none of them have gold. And when the economy collapses, they'll all be poor. That's my wish. I applaud the guy. I don't know who he is. I've never heard him before. But I like him. He's our kind of guy. So there you have it. I just saw that this morning and I said, oh, I gotta show class this. Unbelievable. So I was watching some stoic stuff. I saw this one, which is pretty good. So it says, a good woman is not interested in your money or status. She wants these four things. She wants your time. She wants your love, your commitment. And I don't remember the fourth one. Should have wrote it down. But she just wants you to be nice to her and honest to her and be with her. So you give her your love. You give her your time. That's why you worry about when the girl asks for money. Is she sincere or not? And that's why when you get these girls, oh, I need money to see you. You're like, the fuck for? If you really wanted to see me, so this is my thing with that girl. Give me money, I'll come see you. If you really wanted to see me, come see me. And then we'll go from there. Not I'm giving you money and then you can scam me and you won't show up. But there you go. The real girl doesn't even want your money. She wants your love, your time, your compassion. Wants to be able to talk to you like we talk here. So, a little stoic. Please feel free to bring up any comments. Bobby Bo, did you see this, Bobby Bo? Did you see my Charles Schwab guy? Did you see this? Or should I play it again? Okay. So you didn't see this, I take it, right? Because you're just showing up. Okay, I'm going to play this again. You'll love this.
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free. We will stay free. And you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself. And so yesterday, I stood on this stage and said some things that I should not have said. But we all deserve a second chance. So I would like to apologize to absolutely no one. None of you were elected to show us how we should live our lives. All of you motherfuckers took your private jets to show up to this meeting, so don't lecture us about the environment. I ain't eating bugs. You can eat these nuts. And once again, you and your fake climate agenda can go fuck.
You mentioned that the biggest threat to a cohesive and sustainable world was security.
Mr. Schwab, I'm sorry, but the biggest threat to the world is the fake stream news media. And the second biggest threat to the world is this very organization, the World Economic Forum, which is the Communist Party that was not elected by the people. And that's why I keep telling y'all should go fuck yourself.
Trust has been
His name is Damon Amani Beam. I've never heard of him. I guess he was a guest there, and he laid the smackdown on him. So he says what we all say: "Go fuck yourself." Absolutely. So I don't know. I was just looking for stuff for class, and I stumbled on him, and I couldn't believe. I think I got it on a short, and then I got it there. And the guy walks out. I love how Carl Schwab walks out. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want anybody to tell me to go fuck off. But he nailed it. He says, look, you guys aren't even elected. Don't tell us how to live because you got some money and you make a little club here. We don't want to hear from you. We don't want to adapt to you. We don't want to do anything. So I knew you'd like it. It's definitely like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock going there and laying that. That would be Stone Cold and then doing this to him. Absolutely. I would if I could talk to Mark McGuire. Those guys are afraid to talk to me. Mark McGuire or the Alligator. Well, he doesn't do a show. He's usually a guest. But I write the comments. You see the comments I write. There was a comment I wrote today. Let's see. Where did I was listening to some, and I left a comment. I was talking about this. So a good woman doesn't want your money. She wants your love. She wants your commitment. She wants your time, but she doesn't want your money. Where was this one? I don't know. I leave a good comment. Oh, well. I couldn't figure out how to switch my I couldn't figure out how to switch my screen. So this is my right hand. It's supposed to be on my right side. I looked and I'm like, how do I flip this? I don't know. But when I watch anything, it works fine. And I mean, I can see, but this painting right here is on this. Well, it's a poster. Is on this side. It's on this side. It's on my right with my TV. They're both over on the. Oh, they're both over here. So I'm all confused, but I can't. I'll keep trying to. I turned off the computer, turned it on anyway. So there was somebody I commented with. Who the hell did I comment? No, it was today. I thought it was this morning. Anyway, I'm realizing how stupid people are about money because they still don't get the gold thing. Jesus, how far back do I need to go? I don't know. Did I talk about this idiot?
If you want to invest in the AI revolution, do not buy Google, Microsoft.
The BRICS nations will do is just peg their currency to the dollar price of gold. And they're the ones accumulating all of the gold and producing it all. And so if the United States inflates, the dollar goes down, the price of gold goes up, the BRICS win. If the United States tries to catch up and buy more gold, the dollar.
Just a second. So that was Daria. I told her I mentioned her. She said, "How'd the interview go?" And I said, "Oh, it went great." So I don't think I told you guys yet. So I had asked my recruiter to let me know when she hears feedback on the interview, right? And then she texted me yesterday and she said, "So far of the people they've interviewed, you're in the lead. You're the best one." I think they'd interviewed 3 other people before me, and then there's one interview on Monday. And so hopefully I'll know Monday or Tuesday, and hopefully I'll beat out the 4th guy or the other person. So I'm excited. Hopefully, I at least pass phase 1. And then I'm literally 2 minutes from the gold store. So I can see at lunchtime driving to the gold store to get more gold every day at lunch before it goes up to the price goes to the moon. Daria hurt her. She's got a bad neck. Her fingers were bothering her, and she went to the doctor, and they said, "Oh, it's." So I think it's like a pinched nerve in her neck and her vertebrae and her spine. You know how we get when I get my back and my feet hurt from my sciatic. So this is like her neck and then her feelings. So she's taking pills. And my advice would be go do a 3-day fast, and you'll be fixed just like that, like I do. But she, so she's got that. But I said just try to relax and take your pills, take an ice pack or something. And then I said I'll massage you when we're in Turkey. I'll rub your neck for you. Let's see, where is this? Motherfucker. I left a comment today and I can't find it. Anyway. But it's just amazing how many people still don't understand gold. They don't understand the dollar's being ruined. They can't understand that concept. The dollar's going to zero. They don't get it. This is why I use the Titanic. It's like, look, fellows, we hit the iceberg. The water's coming in the boat. What are you not getting about that? That seems to be the most plausible thing that you can grasp your hands on. We are printing the money. It's worthless. What is it that's so hard to understand? Oh, you trust the government, or you know, whatever it is. You don't believe that the dollar can go to zero, and which is why I take you to Rome and going, well, if you lived in the Roman Empire, you probably would have said the same thing. And then you're like sitting there going, oh, fuck, what happened to our money? What happened to our empire? This is the problem. So again, you're buying, the first thought is to get out of the money. And the second thought is, then what do I get into? And that's what goes us. That's why we go to gold or the Mahomes cards. I mean, the same thing. This will go to zero in dollars. Let's say it's $1,000. I don't know. Let's say it goes to zero. Well, if he wins this week, this will be worth even more, especially a 50 count. So this goes to zero in dollars. Everything goes to zero in dollars. This is the concept you have to understand. But then what's the new money going to be? Is it going to be this gold-backed brics, the ruble, the yuan? Is the U.S. going to come out with that? But the U.S. better come out with a gold-backed currency. But we don't have gold to do it with, because you're going to get fucked, because you have to you have to understand that nobody wants our currency, and if you don't want it, it's worth zero. So that's the first concept. So you sell all your dollars and you buy gold with it. What part are we misunderstanding about that? You have $200,000 in garbage. Where's my? So I have $200,000 in this. Okay. So if I take this and buy $200,000 of gold, what's happened? What's happened? I didn't spend a penny, right? It cost me $200,000. I got rid of $200,000 and I got $200,000 in gold. What did I do wrong? Where am I not figuring out this thing? I did not spend $200,000. I traded this for gold, as if, let's say this is worth $1,000. So I sell 1,000 of this to get this. Did I do anything wrong? No, because I still have the $1,000, right? It just switched from this, which is a depreciating asset, to this, which is a real asset. And the way he's going, it will go up in value. And the reason that it will, because there's only 50 of them. And that's the important thing when you're buying this stuff, is to buy limited. And I don't know how you can argue Bitcoin's limited at 21 million when I can show you a 50 count Mahomes card going, this is limited. This is not limited, and they keep printing it. So if we take 200 of this and we trade it for gold, now you're going to say, well, you got to find a buyer for this. Well, there's a thing called eBay, or I could go to a card show and sell it. But gold's even easier, because gold, I just walk to the coin store and I go and give him the coin and he gives me money. No questions asked, because I'm in there all the time. He knows me. He knows I'm buying it from him. He's going to test it. It'll be real gold or real silver, and he'll give me spot. The only thing is that he'll give me spot, not the premium. Okay, fine. I get that. But I don't understand the people's thought. Like, you didn't just spend $200,000 on a boat or on a car or something, but even if you did, you can sell them and get your money back. You might lose a little bit, but I guarantee you, if you leave this in the bank for another 3 months, this won't be worth anything. It's not worth anything now. Go to the grocery store and see how long it takes you to put $100 in the cart versus before. I remember going, you'd fill the whole cart and it would be $70 and you'd be freaked out. So you won't even fill the bottom of your cart and you'll have $100. That's how much it's worth. It's not worth anything. So if you take 200,000 and you switch it for gold or silver, if you do that, you then have your money in a different asset. This is going to zero for sure, and that's going to the moon for sure. So you have something that's going up. So you switched your 200 from this thing going down to zero to this thing going up to the moon. What's the problem? What's your risk? You have no risk. I know I got a coin store that'll take my gold. If I need to sell it back, here you go. I know the dollar is going to zero. They can't stop it. They keep printing just for the interest. They print $1 trillion a couple of months because you have 35 trillion in debt. You have 8 trillion, but the interest rates are going to go up, not down. They can't control it because of the inflation. They can't control it. Then you got people lying to you that inflation's 2 or 3%. It's not 2, it's 20% at least, minimum, because you keep printing it. How can it can only go up? It can't go down. So if it's 20% now and you keep printing, it goes to 25%. It only goes higher, higher, higher. There's no other way to stop it without gold. So, I'm Tom Brady. I got, I don't know, $100 million. I'm off to the coin store and I am trading in the 100 million for 100 million in gold. I might leave a couple million out for pay my house, a new car, a trip to wherever, and that would be it. But what is his risk? None. But will he do it? No, he's not smart enough to do it. He doesn't understand the concept. Remember, he went to U of M, so he's handicapped. But I don't. These rich guys, I don't get it. I do get it because they're clueless. They're not economists or finance people. They don't know anything about money, and the people that they know about money will get them into stocks and bonds, and leave your money in the bank. Trip to Amsterdam. Well, there you go. Well, he can bring Amsterdam to him. I was watching Taken, and there's a couple of things that bother me in the movie. One, how the daughter and the wife lie about they're going on the YouTube trip, and the father's this multi-millionaire, and yet they're staying at the friend's apartment, and she's worried about money for the cab. Okay, this guy's multi-millionaire. He doesn't have a limo waiting for him at the airport, and they're not going to this fancy hotel in Paris. Then she does this, and then at the end of the movie, I'd be sitting there and I'd be giving that ex-wife a look like, yeah, you thought nothing can happen, and I had to go fucking rescue her from the Arabs and risk getting killed. And she's got to learn and this and this. You've paralyzed the kid for life. What the fuck? So I can't believe Liam Neeson didn't just, give it to the X-Men. Jean Grey. I can't believe he didn't go off on her. I would have went off on her. You motherfucker, I told you to be careful and you don't believe me. What the fuck do you think I've done? I've been a CIA agent for 20 years. Like, what the fuck? And then his friend in Paris, the policeman who doesn't give a fuck. I got a desk job. I get this. I make $100. I owe $200. So I'll take money from the terrorist so I can feed my family. But what? And I don't care about your daughter. If she never gets taken, if she never gets found, I don't really care. I got a desk job. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? So talking about your trip to Amsterdam. So then it goes, why are these guys buying these girls? Why don't they, like you said, why don't they just go to Amsterdam or Germany or the Ukraine and go pick up girls and say, look, I'm going to, I'll You be my girlfriend, I'll give you an allowance. I'll give you $5,000 a month to be my girlfriend. And then he'd have, I mean, I don't know. Why is it so, why does he actually have to buy the girl as a slave? Doesn't he think the parents are going to come after, somebody's going to come after him? So that's what I was like, and why the police are so nonchalant about it. And then it gets to Taken 2, where the guy who's in every movie, he was in Euro Trip. I like that. He says, well, we got to get revenge. They killed our sons. And then Liam goes, well, they were selling my daughter, and they kidnapped her, and they're killing these girls. And like the father's like, well, that's business. I don't care about that. But you killed my son. Yeah, he was going to kill my daughter. How that just gets out is like the whole Taken 2. I couldn't watch. It's too stupid. How much is it per girl in Amsterdam? Well, if you're in the red light district, it's only 50 euros, and you get a good half hour. And if you really like them, you can give them 100 and spend more time with them. And if they really like you, I had one girl say, give me $500, I'll spend the night with you. It was her. She asked me, I didn't ask her. So we had a good time. And then she said, I'll spend the night with you for $500. And I didn't have that much money at the time because this was, I didn't have a debit card at the time. So I brought like $1,000, and so I want to go have fun. And I'm like, well, if I give her 500, I won't have much left. And had I had a debit card, I would have done it. But part of my spider senses were like, I've never heard this before. I says, how about if I give you 200 and you come, we'll do 2-3 hours. And the overnight was like 8 hours, right? I'll come at 9 till 5 or whatever. And so I sat there like, something just was like, why won't you do 3 hours? Why does it have to be the whole night? And then maybe it's because she had nowhere to live or didn't like where she was living. And again, like Daria feels safe with me and wanted to just have a good night's sleep with me, I guess. So, yeah, if you go to the windows, it's been 50 euro for a long time, which is like $55 now. And pretty soon it'll, and I'm telling them, well, you should ask for silver. You don't want 50 euros, you want silver. So I'm still teaching economics anytime I can. And very pretty girls, because the beauty of it is it's really economics, it's competition. So this girl here is, beautiful, and then this girl's got to look good to compete with them, or everybody will go to the first girl. And very, they're sitting in their little bra and panties or some hot little outfit, like at a strip club, and it's only 50 euros, and you get to see the girl and kind of feel the chemistry. Like I said, I had one girl that I saw, so I went to her, and the next day I came back, and she was okay, but I'm gonna, I had chocolate, now I want vanilla. And she came running out of her room and gave me a big kiss and a big hug, and we went back into her room, and it was, I'd never seen that before. It was like, wow. So yeah, so I spent some time with her, but yeah, that's fine. So they do, if they recognize a stoic, professor, they'll hang on to you. It's got to be kind of lonely for them. I mean, they can't, I doubt they have boyfriends. They probably have a child, and they're probably, they got to, somebody put them there, so they got to pay them back, and they got to pay rent and try to take care of the baby that they all probably have. So it's hard on them. I understand that. That's why they like me, because I treat them like that's what they're doing, and I realize it's work. So anyway, so that's what Taken is. Why would the guy spend $500,000 on this guy's daughter when the father's warning you, like, if you keep doing this, I'm going to kill you, and he does? Why would you be not after him? So that's what I didn't understand about the movie. and how easily she gets taken at the airport from this guy. You know, if he really is a CIA agent, the daughter, he didn't tell the daughter, be careful of strangers, and she would share a cab when she's rich. I mean, that whole, when you start analyzing it, it doesn't make any sense. Just the fact she's kidnapped and then Liam Neeson gets to kill everybody and his friend won't help him. Yeah, I mean, it's like, really? And then he doesn't beat the hell out of ex-woman because she said she's got to see the world. And why wasn't she at a 5-star hotel then? So nothing made sense there. But that ruins the thing. It's funny, Liam Neeson does a train movie where there's a bomb on the train. He does a plane movie where there's a bomb on the plane. I don't know what it is about Liam. He does the same movie. I'm surprised he hasn't done one on the boat where it's going to blow up. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. So I told Daria about the interview. She asked me about the interview, and I said, well, it went really good. Like I said, I beat out 3 guys so far. I got 1 more guy on Monday, and then I'll get underpaid for a while, and then hopefully, who cares, because I'll just be buying gold. And so I said, I brought you up in the interview. I said, I'm divorced, and I got a fiance or a girlfriend in Russia. And he kind of liked that. And I says, oh, we're going to go meet in Turkey because I can't go to Russia and she can't get out. So I told her, I said, I brought you up in the interview. So she liked that. But I really did. I don't know why, but he was, tell me about yourself, not at work. So I said, I play poker, I golf, I walk the lake, I go swimming, I do that, I teach this class. And then I taught him about gold. I loved it. I got that in the interview somehow where I said, this is how I critically think. Do you ever ask yourself, why is gold $2,000 an ounce? He says, no. And I says, well, why not? Why aren't you asking that question? And then he says, why? Is it's price fixed by COMEX. But with BRICS, they're about to blow it up, and then gold's going to go to the moon. But fascinating. Here's the CFO, and he has no idea about gold or gold price. And you scratch your head going, how the fuck are you running this company? Because the money's going to be worthless. The company will go into the ground because there won't be money. You're not protecting the company with gold. How can you run a company like that? And this is what I scratch my head, is that all these guys running these companies are so fucking clueless about the money being worth zero and gold about to go up. And it's just, you get to the point where fuck everybody then. I will teach this class, and if you want to learn about it, I'm happy to help you. But if I'm at the pool or in a hot tub, I ain't saying a word unless you approach me. I know you're the gold guy. Can you just explain it? I've had a couple ladies do that. Otherwise, I ain't going to waste my time. You guys know everything. Good luck. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it at. Is I'm happy to look. I'll do a class. You want to come? I will teach you anything you ask me about economics, gold, silver, BRICS, whatever it is. But I'm tired of walking up to strangers to try to help them, and I'm like, no, not anymore. I hear you, Professor. There's a lot of annoying people in the world. Well, there are a lot of vampires, right? And that's why I love this guy telling them all to fuck off. And Charles Schwab comes, walks off the stage. And how does he justify this guy's telling you to fuck off and you're getting up and leaving when he's 100% right? Why are you trying to control us? We're not asking you. You're not elected. If you've got money, I suggest you buy gold and go to the Swiss Alps with Egon and go count your gold. Why do you have to try to control us? What is going on in your mind? And this is the part I don't understand. I don't try to control anybody. I mean, and the last person I'm going to control is Daria. You're free to do what you want. I'm here to help you. You hurt your neck, I will rub your neck for you, and we'll fix it. And and whatever you want to do in Turkey, we'll do it. I want to go to the place where there's more beaches and big boats, and then a better market, and then nice restaurants. We'll go to that side. I don't want to get woken up with churches and mosques and everything else. I don't care. I'm not that religious. But that's, I'm being more, I've been stoic, but I haven't known I'm stoic. Just like I'm an INFJ, but I didn't know I was. And then as I'm reading it, I'm going, yeah, that's me. And then add stoic to it. Yeah, that's me. But there was something on stoic. I can't even listen to this guy because it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was watching it this morning. Why can't I find it? Oh, here's what so this Daniel DiMartino Booth, who I think he's an idiot.
So I want to bring in QI Research CEO, Chief.
I think here's why I commented. Yeah. So she doesn't even know what inflation is. So here's my comment to this woman. That's my comment to her. And then I reply to this guy. Here's my reply to the second guy. So this is the comments that I don't understand. Sean Wagner replies to this Fed inflation has these bullshit. Right now, things seem odd. The U.S. dollar is losing value due to inflation, but it is strengthening in comparison to other currencies and commodities like gold and real estate. Because they believe it to be safer, people are going to the dollar. I'm concerned that rising inflation may lead my retirement funds to lose value. Where else could we put our cash? Can you believe that this question is one day ago and the guy is clueless? He has no idea to put it into gold. How can you not fucking understand that? One response. Personally, I would say have a mentor. Not sure where you will get an experienced one right here, but if your knowledge of the market is limited, it seems like a good bet. This other guy, I agree. Based on personal experience working with an investment advisor, I currently have $1 million in a well-diversified portfolio that has experienced growth. It's not only about having money to invest in stocks, but you need to be knowledgeable, persistent, and have strong hands to back it up. I don't know what he means. Please, who's this advisor? It's probably made up. She's known as Margaret. It's so easy and you should take a look. Okay, whatever. Here's my response. Your only option is physical gold. And I got you into it, Bobby. Shake my head. How do you not know this? So this guy's crying. The U.S. dollar is losing value, but it is strengthening in comparison to other currencies. So let's take this a piece at a time, because the other currencies are inflating worse than the U.S. is inflating. They're all inflating. They're all paper fiat currency, and they're all being printed to death. So the fact we're going against, so if these two guys are fighting, guess what? They're printing this. They're printing this more than they're printing this. That's what that means. That's why this value is not going down as much, because they're printing this even more, because they're both fiat currencies not backed by gold. But it is strengthening in comparison to other currencies and commodities like gold and real estate. What kind of comments that? How do you know the dollar strengthening versus gold and real estate? Is it strengthening versus real estate? I don't think so. I sure as hell ain't strengthening versus gold. Maybe commodity gold, but he doesn't understand it's paper gold. He doesn't understand its derivatives. There's no way how can the dollar be strengthening versus gold? That's the stupidest comment I've ever heard. So again, this is a guy that has no idea what he's talking about, and he's talking. But this is John Q. Public going, oh, look at the dollar's fine. Why would I get out of the dollar and buy gold when the dollar is going up in value versus the euro and the yen and the yuan? Because they believe it to be safer, people are going into the dollar. Why do you believe it's safer when they're printing it to zero and there's heavy inflation? Why do you think it's safer? Because it's dollars, because it says 100 on it, you think it's safer than gold? Are you out of your fucking mind? How does he even say these things? This is why foreigners who had money in, the euro or the Swiss franc think the dollar is the reserve currency. It's stronger than so if I'm Egon, I go, oh, my dollar's stronger, I'll put it in US dollars. Once you realize it isn't, you're going to sell, and that's where this whole stock market crash and housing market crash is going to happen, because it's held by a lot of people, $130 trillion outside in different countries, putting their money into the U.S. for safe haven. People are going to the dollar. I'm concerned that the rising inflation may lead my retirement funds to lose value. Where else could we put our cash? What kind of question is this? So why do you still have your money? So let's answer the first. I'm concerned that the rising inflation may lead my retirement funds to lose value. They won't lose value. They're going to zero. The market's going to crash. So I don't know what you have in your retirement funds. Let's say 500,000. Where else could we put our cash? How about gold? Which is why I answered it. Your only option is physical gold. And I have to get you into there, Bobby. Shake my head. This one guy's like, oh, I've made millions of dollars. I've made in a well-diversified portfolio. There's only 5 stocks that have been going up, the Amazons, the Alphabet, and whatever. How the fuck is it a well-diversified portfolio when there's only 5 stocks going up and everything else is getting tanked? Plus, the market's about to crash. So I like to hear from this guy, when the market crashes, it's a bunch of bullshit. So I can't believe I'm still seeing this crap. She comes on and I don't know if I want to waste our time listening to her, but well, it's 3 minutes. Let's listen. We got 3 minutes.
Strategist Daniel DiMartino Booth. All right, let's just start with the manufacturing data, because I got to.
She's an idiot.
What was the Dallas Fed right in your backyard? Golly, what a disaster. I don't understand, Danielle, why doesn't this move the needle? These things come out one after another, and the market kind of yawns. But this is critical, particularly when we're supposed to be in a manufacturing renaissance.
I know. And this will likely manifest in the ISM continuing to reflect that we're in a huge industrial recession. A year ago, we might have been talking about layoffs in Silicon Valley, but right now we're seeing layoffs across the manufacturing spectrum as well. Charles, WARN notices in the state of Michigan are up 200%. We had more than 20,000.
No, that's because Ford and GM have the electric cars that are laying off.
Wow.
These are extraordinary numbers.
Let's talk about inflation for a moment, because you were the first. Before that, this is just so people understand the layoffs you were just talking about. This is just the tech sector. This is just January alone in the tech sector, 42,000. By the way, how do you reconcile the technology stocks going to the moon while they're laying people off? But I want to skip to the inflation.
Manipulated.
You hit me to this true inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. True inflation's been coming down, but lately
no, it
it's
hasn't.
kind of balancing a little bit here.
Yep.
Does this worry you? Because this is usually the kind of move that happens before something like that.
It has leveled off a little bit. It is reflecting the kind of temporary bounce that we saw in home prices, but it's also starting to reflect falling hotel rates, Charles. So that's a new twist. I actually stay in touch with the people at Truflation. They're fabulous. But we are starting to see some areas of weakness in services spending. That's new.
Yeah, let me talk about this. Nassim Taleb, who won't come on the show.
I wonder why.
Says the U.S. is facing a debt spiral. And he talks about our swelling debt. Now, of course, we've heard this before. In fact, we've heard this for the last 15 years. But at some point, it has to be true, no?
Well, we seem to be immune to the fact that we're putting $1 trillion of debt onto the country's balance sheet every single quarter. every 3 months, $1 trillion of debt. At some point, you would think that it would start to add up. But we do know one thing. It sounds like they're not going to be lowering interest rates imminently.
Right.
And that has implications for the cost of the country carrying all this debt, which is approaching $1 trillion.
And by the way, when it does matter, there won't be any turning back. Like once you're actually off the cliff, you're off the cliff.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, I got less than a minute to go. I saw these quotes on social media that you were saying politics is economics and economics is politics.
What am I saying?
Sounds like
So this is the lady that used to work for the Fed. Are you impressed with her answers? She doesn't even know what inflation is. Well, yeah, we see the prices coming down in the hotels because people don't have money to travel. Oh my God. Oh, the prices are, see, they still think inflation's prices. The guy's showing the chart. I'm going to go this way. And the prices, how do I go this way? And the prices are coming down. I got to be left-handed to do right-handed. The prices are coming, he's saying the inflation's coming down and now it's stable and now I think it might go back up. It hasn't come down because you're measuring it with prices. Prices is not how you measure inflation. It's how you've inflated the money supply. So if you have 50 Mahone cards, the price, okay, so the price, let's say, is $1,000 for a 50 count Mahone card. Well, let's say it really wasn't 50. Let's say there's one that's 500 count Mahomes card. What do you think's worth more, the 50 count Mahomes or the 500 count Mahomes? Of course, the 50. So if we add that to the money supply, well, what do you think? You got $10 trillion. Now you've printed another 10. Now you've got $20 trillion of money printed. Well, of course it's worth less. I mean, this is insanity. So everything is the opposite in your video. Yeah, this is my right hand. It's supposed to be on this side. I've been doing this. See, what happened is I was doing this to show this, and it like, why are they reversed? So I don't know how to flip it back, and I don't know how it flipped because I didn't change settings. I've been just clicking the default microphone, and now I seem to be okay there, but I don't know why. I don't know how to get this back on this side. For instance, that is your closet behind you is really to the left. This is my right, and that painting, this is on my right side, and that's on my right side. But in the video, it's showing, it should show here. If you look at a video from last week, that painting will be here and the closet will be here because I'm opposite. So this is my right side. So everything on the right should be on this side. And I am guessing the front door is on the side of it there. Yeah, that's the door of the closet. And then there's a sliding looking door with the front patio. Yeah, that's what you see. So I open it up to get light in here. That's right behind me. So that's not the issue. It's this and this are on this side. So when I do this is supposed to be demand. And then I say, well, here's the barbecue, right? So when I do that, normally I say the ribs are $25. If he sells them for $45, he's over market. So I don't know how this switched. I did drop my laptop like 6 inches. I was picking it up and it dropped. And I don't know if that did it. I don't know how this happened. And I looked for settings, but there's nothing in the settings. I tried like Google Help. I can't. I don't even know what to call this. How to reverse my screen. I don't even know what to call it. Cool. Looks like a nice spot to have a coffee and a study. Yes. Thank you, Bob. It might be too cold out there right now, though, for that. So not sure. No, it's pretty warm because the snow all melted. It's probably 40 degrees out. So I could probably go out like this. And if I'm drinking coffee, for sure. So back to this. So this Daniel Martina Booth, everybody thinks is smart because she worked for the Fed, which means you work for the government, which means you're an idiot. She doesn't understand inflation. She thinks it's prices. Now this is like a look behind the curtain why people are so stupid, because this is who they're listening to. It's Fox News. They're listening to this woman. She says inflation's it's down. And they don't talk about getting into gold. They don't bring up gold. Why not? The inflation has been going down. No, it hasn't. The prices have been going down. And the prices, as we said, is controlled by the market. So if this, right, it's $50, we have inflation, the money is worth less, we raise the price to 100. However, the market says, no, I'm not going to pay $100 for this. I only want to pay, I'm only 50. So if it goes to 100, is that inflation? No. And if it goes back down to 50, is inflation going down? No. The market said, fuck you, I'm not going to give you 100 for it. It's a $50. That's why I use the rib example. I'm going to pay $26 for the slab of rib, but if you want to make it 45, you want to call that inflation. But when nobody buys it and the price goes back down to 25, that doesn't mean inflation's coming down. It means the market's saying, no, we're not going to pay for it. These idiots look at prices going, well, the prices are coming down, so inflation's coming down. No, inflation's the printed, it's you've got 10, 20 trillion of these running around. You got another 130 trillion US waiting for them to wake up, realize this is worthless, sell all the assets they have in the US for safety. So yes, I'm in Italy. I got all this money, probably the mafia. I want to get it into safety, so I'm going to put it in the U.S. dollars, and then I can buy stock. I can buy stocks and make money at stocks. Should have bought gold, but they didn't. So that's what it is. So as all these people push their money back, that's $130 trillion coming back home. Massive inflation. The dollar it's not worth anything now. It's certainly not going to be worth anything. You'll see the stock market crash. That's why I showed you the Chinese stock market one, where the Chinese have lost $7 trillion in their stock market. But they laugh because they got 60,000 tons of gold. And they're going, fuck, I got gold. That's the beauty of gold. It's a protection. It's sort of what I do with Daria and Jenna. I have protection. Something happens, we get into a fight, with Jenna, I go to Daria, or vice versa. But I don't see that happening. I got a stronger feeling for Daria. But that's the point, is it's sort of like you have the competition and you go with that. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I don't hurt people, but at my stage, I want to test out everything. And then, I want to take a little piece. There's Meet Joe Black, and near the middle of the film, she's throwing a party for the guy. He's turning 65, and so she has 3 cakes, and she said, "Daddy, try out which one we should serve at your party." He's some rich billionaire guy, and so he tries. He says, "Let's go with this one." Well, that's all I'm doing. That's why you want competition. You don't want to be told to do this and nobody likes it. You want to know that, and that's also a Stoic thing. I was watching Stoic today, and one of the things is saying there's this beautiful girl, but you don't want to compromise. So she says, let's go do something that you don't want to do. Let's go to the opera, and you don't like the opera. You shouldn't go. You shouldn't try to please her if it's not what you would normally do. Me and Bobby are going to the football game. She wants to go to the opera. We want to go to the football game. So you don't go to the opera. You stay true to yourself, going, I don't like it. I'm not going to enjoy it. It's not what I would normally do. I'm going to go to the football game, and you go take a girlfriend to the opera. I mean, that's fine. But don't try to make me an opera person. That isn't going to happen. It's not what I like. So they're saying is you stay true to yourself, and you always make yourself, do what you would normally do, is what the point was. There were 6 or 7 of them. Let's see. So there's this one. A good woman isn't interested in your money or status. She's interested. She wants your time, your love, your commitment. This one was kind of cute. 14 attraction signs that guys miss. So I'm laughing at that one. And then there was these two, which don't beg, chase, don't write, don't even call, best to do this. What you're trying to do is market yourself and make them want you. And then this one, she can't stop thinking about you. Just do this. She will think about you nonstop. And that's really just being loving and caring and listening and be there when she needs. Like now, Daria hurt her neck. I'm there for her. You know, that's really what it is. She needs me now, not, other things. And if you're there, then that's the whole difference. So, yes, General Chow tonight. I think so. I had it last week. I haven't had it in a while. Now, how would you handle this, Bobby? She charged me a little bit more. I'm adding it up going, well, let's see, 15, 7, this should be about $18. It was $19. I said, I think you mischarged me. And then she said, well, I charged you for the General Chow, the egg roll, and then I charged you for the hot mustard. She's charging me $1 for the hot mustard since I got back from Alabama, but she never told me she was charging it. And before it was like $13, $14. I didn't really pay attention. Now it's up to like, 19, and I'm giving her $1 tip on a carryout, which I never do. And so I go to her, I goes, why aren't you telling me you're charging me $1 for the mustard? You can't just charge somebody. Like, I know I'm paying for the General Chow, and I know I'm paying for the egg roll, and I know I'm paying for the tax. You've got to tell me I'm paying for the mustard. I don't know if I'd get it. Now it's $1, so I will, but you can't just charge, because she doesn't break out the receipt. You know how the Chinese restaurants are. They just give you the total. You owe me $18. They don't really go through the breakdown. So she said, oh, it's $1 for this. It's always been $1 for the mustard. I go, well, then why didn't you tell me you're charging me $1 for the mustard and let me determine if I want the mustard? Because I can buy the spicy mustard instead of hers. So I can buy Grey Poupon for like $3, and this is 10 ounces. I can buy this, which I have, and I do it when I make chicken. I use this instead of the French salad dressing, and I'll dip the chicken in this and the burgers. So I'm like, I don't need your mustard. I don't need to pay $1 for a little container of your mustard. It's good, but I have it, right? So you don't charge for the sweet and sour sauce that comes with the meal. It's part of the General Chow, and you don't charge for the egg roll plum sauce. Why are you charging for the mustard? Well, that doesn't come with. Well, at the restaurant, it always did. At the restaurant, there'd be this squeeze bottle like ketchup, only it was hot mustard, and so it's like, really, you gotta charge $1 for hot mustard? Let me go back up. Sliding door. General, yes. Yeah, I hate getting charged for sauce. I don't mind getting charged for things. Don't try to like hide it from me. If you tell me it's $1, then it's my decision. Okay, it's $1 for hot mustard. Don't charge me for something and not tell me you're charging me for it. I hate that. That's very dishonest. So now if I go tonight, I won't get the hot mustard and I won't give her $1 tip. And so I'll make my money back by not giving her $1 tip and tipping her $1. And I'm like, fuck that. I won't do it anymore. How can you not tell me, especially I've been there for 30 years, that you're charging me for the hot mustard? She never did when it was a restaurant. It was, like I said, on the table. It's rare, but sometimes happens. By the way, do credit cards really verify employment when trying to get approved for a new credit card? I got a credit card at Fifth Third Bank, the 0% one for 21 months. And they did look at my credit score, which was like 7 something. And then they asked me if I worked. They didn't actually go into it. And that's when I was at Harley. So I said, yeah, I make 120 a year, but they looked at the credit score. So they asked me, but I don't think they actually, because I got it right away. So I don't think they verified I was working. They might have. They did ask me, would I make it work? I don't know if they asked, was it Harley, but they do. It's mostly the credit score. But yeah, I mean, they want to make sure they can get paid. So they probably do, unless in your case, you're retired. So where are you going to work, right? So I think if you have a good credit score, I don't think it's an issue, because a lot of people are retired. So, that's what I didn't like when I wanted to move out of this apartment to another one. And I call up one and they go, are you working? And I says, I'm retired. What do you mean, am I working? Oh no, you gotta, I says, well, I get Social Security. Well, now you gotta get so much more to, I'm like, what the fuck? What are you insane? What are retired people supposed to do? Like, I'll go to BlackRock and get a house I can rent. Bobby, if I don't have a steady workplace, but just have a lot of money, will they decline me for a card? I am considering getting a zero interest Discover card. Let's just say my problem is I got it in gold, so nobody knows. So they can't, like, if I had it in the bank, they would see $200,000 in the bank and they'd be like, okay, and Social Security. But because I don't have any money in the bank and I have all gold and I'm not working at Social Security, that's why I'm like having a hard time moving, because they want me to be working. So if I get this job, then I can say, okay, I'm working. And the ironic part is, so I get the Harley job, I'm only there 4 months. So if I get an apartment or a credit card because I'm working at Harley, and then when the job ends, well, nobody comes to you at that point and says, oh, you lost your job, we got to take the credit card back. So it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But I don't know. I'm not sure if you go to the bank. I mean, what do they do with all these retired people? Because if we have money, I'm a little bit curious why you're getting a credit card, because you have the money. But I understand it. It's good insurance. But you won't be paying it back anyway, because when the dollar crashes, there's no reason to pay it. But I would, if I was in your shoes, I'd either go to the bank or call them online or call them up, say, I want to apply for this credit card, and say, I'm not working, I'm a retired sports figure. And so I have a lot of money in the bank. Now, maybe they look at your bank account to determine that you have the money. I'm not sure how they do that, but I would say something like that. But I can't be that rare that, I mean, a lot of people are retiring and not working. So what are they going to do? Not rent the place or not give you the credit card? She's trying to mate off me. Well, it's $1 she's getting on me. But since I go there every Saturday and I'm a good customer for years, since before my kids, what the fuck is she doing? No, I don't want to be a poo-pooer for $1, but I don't like the fact that you're not telling me that. Yeah, I have money, but not steady workplace, obviously. So I was wondering. You probably have good credit, I would imagine. So that's why I might call, or I might go into the bank and ask for the credit card. I might call Discover, say I'm interested in the 0% card, but I'm a retired sports figure. Now, do they look in your bank and they see, oh, you got 300,000 in your bank account, and then they don't care? I don't know. If you have other credit cards, see, they're going to look at your credit score. So if it's 700, that'll probably, they know you can pay it off. Their only concern is, if I give this card to Bobby, can he pay me back? That's the only concern that they have. And this is why they have high interest rates on mortgages and car payments, because they're concerned, can you pay me back? And they know the inflation, and they're worried. Not only are they worried about you paying them back, they don't want to get paid back with inflated dollars. That's the problem. The money if I give you $25,000 for a car, the money you're paying me back from is not going to be worth, so it's not going to be worth 25,000. You're going to give me back 20,000 because it's inflated. So the money keeps losing value as the more they print. But this woman who used to work for the Fed doesn't, or the central bank doesn't understand that part. Amazingly enough, so this is the problem. So that's why they have the higher interest rates. Let me finish that thought. So I go to Toyota and I want to buy the car, and the rates are now 7-8%. I paid 2%, because even though it was being inflated money, they're too stupid to understand that. Now they say it's inflated. They might charge me 7 or 8 when the real rate's 20. And so that's the problem. People don't understand it, and you get paid back with cheaper dollars. And that's really the whole problem. How we've survived this long, since 1971, when the dollar was worthless as soon as they took us off gold. How the hell have we survived 50 years with all this massive inflation and massive printing we've been doing? It's insane. And raising interest rates doesn't really help. The idea of raising interest rates really, in their mind, is things will cost more, so you won't buy as much and the prices will come down, because they're looking at it in terms of price. If I can't sell it, the price drops. That's not what does that have to do with inflation? Nothing. The real point is that we will raise the rates. You'll put your money in the bank. So you give me your money and you go, I can get a CD getting 20%. That's the real reason they're doing it. Then they're supposed to take the money and just burn it. That's how we reduce the money supply, by getting it in the bank and burning it. But the bank needs the money to loan out, so that doesn't work at all. That's why inflation, like look at Venezuela, it's 6,000%. Zimbabwe, it doesn't go down. Greece, Pakistan, all these, even Turkey's got inflation. It never goes down. The only answer is gold. That's it. You better have gold. And otherwise, that's it. There's nothing else you can do. So that's the real problem. So you don't want to loan out money, because you're going to get money worth less. Again, I'd rather have the 50 count Mahomes than a 5,000 count Mahomes. And that's kind of what you're doing with the money. It's a lot of printed, so it's worth less than what you get today. So every day they're printing, they're making the money worth less and less and less. So in Germany in the 20s, they were printing 1 billion marks a day, and all it did was make it worth less and less and less. So eventually they would just print it, and it would just, you'd wallpaper your house because it wasn't worth anything. So they could print 1 billion marks, 10 billion marks, 1 trillion marks. It didn't matter, because it was worthless. And so you then went from marks, and that's why you could go buy the house with a 1 ounce gold coin, because there is no more money. That's the only money. Maybe if you went with US dollars, you could have bought the house too. But if you had gold, and gold was $25, $30 an ounce, you were able to buy things with the gold, because there was no marks. And that's what I'm saying here. As this goes away, your house goes to zero, but the alternative money will buy it. The only alternative there will be is gold, because there is no other currency backed by gold. The euro, the Swiss franc, British pound, all of it is all the same. It's all toilet paper. So your house goes to zero in dollars. What are you going to take? Some guy comes to you with Swiss francs. You're going to sell him your house? Well, what's the value of the Swiss franc? That's zero also, because it's not backed by gold. The key is it's got to be backed by gold, or it's worthless. That's the key. So that's why you want gold. So that's why you trade everything for gold right now as they hold the price down. And you're dancing out of the store because you're going, shit, I just got gold for 2,000 an ounce. Let's have a party, because it's the only answer to the question. What do I do when all the paper currencies go to zero? And you have one answer, and it's called gold. It is not called Bitcoin. And you can get into the Mahomes card, but it's really not. You have to sell it to then do something with it. Where gold and silver are actual money. So you don't need to sell it. You've got it. It's now valued in gold. The Mahomes card will never be valued in Mahomes. Bitcoin will never be valued in Bitcoin because it's not money. It's not acceptable by everybody. Money has to be acceptable, and it's not. And we don't even know the value of it. And to me, it's a penny stock. So that's the problem with it. So that's really what the underpinning is. And this guy with Charles Schwab telling him to go fuck himself, absolutely. Where he gets off, I don't know. If he came out and said, you know what, everybody, the dollar's being devalued, what's best for you is to go buy gold. Now, if he did that, we would like him. But if he's trying to control us, and he's the reason that everybody's got the dollar printed to zero and is running high inflation, then we need to tell him to fuck off. So I was glad that I guess the guy was an invited guest. And I'm glad he told. See, everybody thinks that, we're fucked, and it's going to be a CBDC, and we're all going to be slaves, and we're going to be controlled. And this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's not going to happen. They throw it out like it will, but it's not going to happen because there's people like this guy that you don't hear about who's saying, go fuck off. We're not going to be slaves. We're free. And about the food, McDonald's and Wendy's and Taco Bell are not going to just fold. They need food to sell so they can stay in business. You think they're going to let all the food go away? We're going to eat worms and spiders. Then you got the grocery stores like Costco and Kroger's and everything. They sell food. You think, and they're rich companies. You think they're just going to go under and say, yeah, gosh darn it. Yeah, no more food. We're all going out of business. Look what Ford and GM did. They're losing billions of dollars trying to sell electric cars that nobody wants. So what do? They say, fuck it. We're tired of losing money. We're not going to sell electric cars anymore. So they're pushing back on the government, and the more you push back on them, they'll crumble because they're very weak people. They try to rule with this, power, but they have no power. This World Economic Forum has no power over us. You're not elected. We don't need your money. We've got gold. See, gold is the great neutralizer. Nobody can tell you to fuck off. Nobody can tell you it's worthless, and they can't control you. They can't like put a chip in the gold and then you see they know what you're doing, or, oh wait, you're using it to go on a vacation or something. Nobody sees it. Nobody can see it. So that's really the point of gold. It's its own. You're your own bank. You don't need anything else. So that's really the point of it. And I think my neck's bothering me because Daria's neck's bothering her. It's kind of weird. It's like right there. It's probably the same thing she's got. The difference is I'll go take a hot tub and an ice pack. She runs to the doctors. It's like, But I get pinched nerves once in a while, hands. Anyway, so that's really why we buy gold. Reason number 52. It's the bottom line is getting out of dollars. You have to get out of dollars. Now, you don't sell your house necessarily, but you got to realize the value of your house is going to be zero in dollars. And then you got to realize everything priced in dollars goes to zero. And as soon as brics and Russia come out with this gold back, the game's over. And so that's the answer to the riddle of Luke is when. That's when. But as I warn you guys, the Titanic's sinking. You don't stay on the boat until then. As it's sinking, you go, oh shit, we better get off. You get off now. We see the boat. We see the water running in, the boat sinking. Get the fuck off the boat now. And that's really what I mean. And that's what you do with the gold. You buy it now. You don't wait till, like, well, I don't believe you. Let's see the dollar go to zero. And, I think gold's going to sit at 2,000. It won't go up. And you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then the next thing you know, gold hits 5,000. And you're like, oh shit, I should have bought it. Like, so in other words, you're waiting till the boat sinks to then get off the boat when you could have got off the boat before, as soon as the iceberg hit. Because 2 and 2 is 4. The iceberg hits, water's in, and the boat's got to sink because there's water coming in it. So you can get off then. You can see it. And it's the same thing I'm telling you. You can see the inflation because they're printing and printing and printing. And you got $35 trillion in debt, which they got to pay $1 trillion every month or two towards the debt, which where does that come from? Printing. Oh, that makes it worth less. And that's the problem. Is there inflation? It's huge. But the way they calculate it, they don't count the stuff that's going up in price a lot. Most of the other stuff doesn't matter about price. If my Grey Poupon or my Canadian Club, if this goes up from $2 to $5 and then back down to $4, inflation's not going down. People just aren't buying it. Because what does the price of Grey Poupon have to do with inflation? Nothing. It's because that's not what the inflation is. It's the money. The money loses its value because you inflated the supply of it. That's the inflation part. So why do they measure it in prices that they can fuck around with? Well, Grey Poupon went from $2 to $10. Let's not include that because that'll make inflation look higher. So we'll take food off of the table and say, look, inflation's at 3%. Because we'll only look at the prices that only went up 3%. We won't include the other prices. It's insane. It really, and then they get you to believe it. You don't have a fucking clue. That's not what it is, but you don't know. So you listen and go, oh yeah. Oh, she used to work for the Fed, so she must know what she's talking about. I mean, it's insane. These people are so fucking stupid. They'll talk like they know, but they don't. And the problem is you'll listen to somebody like Peter Schiff, who doesn't know what he's talking about, or Lynette Zing, or this Andy Scheckman, or Rick Rude, or the Reichard guy. You listen to them, they don't know what they're talking about. They're not economists, they're salesmen. So you listen to them, and you go, well, I don't know, but sounds like they know, so I'm going to listen to them. And no, you don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about either. They're salesmen. You need to listen to an economist. You need to listen to somebody who can explain it so you understand it. You're the bottom line. You need to understand it so you know what to do without listening to me or Peter Schiff or those idiots. So that's why I tell you exactly what inflation is. And the exact way to win is to buy gold. So you understand, you know it. You're stoic. You're like, fuck, I need to get out of dollars because it's going to zero. And the only answer is gold. And that's your own decision. And you're 100% correct. You know exactly what to do. You walk in with confidence. Here's 50,000. Give me gold. Okay. It should be about 2,025 or 2,100 an ounce. And I can buy, let's see, Professor told me I can buy American Eagles and Cougarans and Maple Leafs and the Philharmonics, which we all love so much. And I can buy ounces, half ounces, quarter ounces, doesn't matter. Probably better because gold hits 50,000. You might not want to sell the ounce. You might want to sell the quarter ounce, just enough. You don't want to pay tax on it, which we'll have to figure that out once the shit hits the fan. And then you got to question, is the shit hitting the fan? And you got to go, yes, because of BRICS, because they don't like America, because the U.S. sanctioned Russia. They are going to come out with gold-backed currency, and that'll destroy COMEX and the dollar. And as alligator. No, as Mark McGuire said, the COMEX won't have a choice. They're going to have to blow up and start using a physical market, not the paper market. They don't have a choice. It will blow them up because the BRICS will come out with a gold price much higher. So why would I? So the example, here's COMEX. I'll keep this Mahomes card down. So it's really worth $1,000 because there's only 50 of them, but I'm going to sell it for $25. So you won't be interested in Mahomes card. And now here comes brics. And brics comes and says, well, we got Mahomes cards here, 50 count. We're going to sell them for $10,000. Now, if I'm COMEX, how can I sell this for 25 when Putin's selling it for 10,000? How much longer are you going to sell it for 25? This is the best example I can show you, and I just thought of it. How can I sell this for 25 when Putin's selling it for 10 grand? I can't. I'd be an idiot too, right? Or it's like selling gold now. I can go on eBay and sell gold for $500. Well, but if they're selling it for, 10,000, why are you thinking that? So if you went on eBay now and you, well, let's go on eBay. Let's follow this to its conclusion. All right, so here's a quarter ounce gold going for $580. So if it's selling for $580, why would you put an auction on eBay for $200? Why would you sell it for $200 when you could get $580 for it? Right? So you wouldn't sell it for $200. You'd sell it for $580. Now you might want to sell it for $1,000, but this is the price, $580. So if Russia comes out with gold and they want 10 grand an ounce for it because you need it to buy oil and you need it to buy the BRICS currency, and COMEX is sitting there at 2,000, why would you sell it at 2 when they're selling it at 10? Why would you not want to make 10 grand when you can make then? So if I was trying to sell mine for 150, well, it's going to get bought for 150, but I could get 580 for it. So that's the understanding of COMEX that we've got to understand. We've got to understand the understanding. So in other words, that once BRIC comes out with the dollar and Russia comes out with a gold-backed currency and the BRICS with the gold-backed currency and Saudi Arabia and Russia want to charge gold for oil, it's going to be at a higher price. Gold will be 10,000, let's say. Just throwing a number out. How does COMEX sell their gold for 2,000? You got to be an idiot to do that, right? I'll sell it for 2. They're selling it for 10. If I can get 10, why would I sell it for 2? Now the reverse is I can buy it for 2 instead of 10, but that's not going to last. I mean, how long is that going to last? So on the buyer side, yeah, COMEX. On the seller side, they're going to go to Russia. So eventually COMEX blows up because they won't have, everybody will quickly grab all the gold and then they won't have gold. And there goes, now it's a $10,000 an ounce because Russia's bought all your 2,000 an ounce gold. So that's the key, is if they're selling it for 10 grand, why would you sell it for 2? You wouldn't. You'd sell it for the same 10 that they're getting on theirs, and they're going to charge that much. That's what they want their dollar to be worth, and that's what they want to get for their oil. So that's really the key to it. And so keep that in mind. Let's see how our watch list is doing. So you can see here, here's our 3 coins, 21.28 for the Maple Leaf, 21.33 for the Cougar, and 21.45. So these are all going to go for 10,000 once Russia comes with the BRICS. So it's just that's what I walk in saying. When I leave the store and I bought a couple of these Eagles or Cougarans, I know they're worth a lot more than 21.33 for the Cougaran. I know it's $10,000 at least coin. So I'm doing handsprings walking out of the place like I just got this, like I just found $1 million, because this is a joke. I'm not worried about it going down because it's controlled by COMEX, but the competition of BRICS and Russia and China and Saudi Arabia with their gold-backed currency blows them away. Now there's competition. Who's going to want the dollar? As I've told you, the problem with the dollar is if I'm Switzerland and I'm Egon and I want to go to England to visit Alligator, and so I need to cash my Swiss francs and the British pounds, but I can't do it directly. I got to buy dollars. I got to take my Swiss francs. I want 1,000 British pounds, so I got to take $1,000, get US dollars, then take the US dollars to buy the British pound. Well, people are sick of that because it costs them money to buy the US dollars, and it's not worth anything. So they don't want the US dollar anymore because the US is kind of bullied, and there's conditional, if you're loaning your girlfriend, well, if you're giving your girlfriend $100, there's no conditions. You don't have to pay me back. Go buy, you want to buy, underwear or whatever, go buy it and enjoy it. And I'm giving you 100 because you're my girlfriend. And this is the point of it. Not, I'll give you the 100, but I want X, Y, and Z back. You got to give me a 5-hour massage and all this other little stuff that I want for me to give you the money. So when I give money to Jenna, Daria, there's no condition. It's not, you don't owe it. I don't want to get paid back. This is what a boyfriend does. And you don't have to do anything. Just be there for me. So that's what it is. Daria, I never ask for money. I'll help her with food or something. I never say, okay, you owe me 100. Now you owe me $1,000. I've helped you with food. I helped her with her teeth. I've never said, okay, because I gave you money she got implants to help you with that. Now I want this, this, and this back. I never do that. So that's what you do. But the U.S. is doing that. They want they attach strings to it. In other words, if you do that, you can't have a gold standard if you try this. That's why Saddam Hussein got killed. I'm going to come out with a gold standard. I don't want to use the US dollars. And then they killed him. Strings were attached, but they can't do that with Russia and China anymore because they're bigger and stronger. And if they do it, Russia and China, you can't bully them. So anyway, that's the gold. My Mickey card, 60,000. No, I don't have that card. I wish I did. Then there's this one, 48,000. So when you go to card shows, you get the market. He's the market. Willie Mays is the market. Koufax, Gibson, Bob Gibson. These guys are the market. If you see a nice PSA 9, PSA 10 card, this Mantle card is PSA 9 for 60,000. If it was PSA 10, it would be right here with the Brady card at 4 million too. So if you don't think cards have a value, as long as they're demanded, as long as there's a market and it's demand and they're limited and they're in good condition. So these are graded PSA. This is a PSA 10, although it's only 10 of them. So I don't know why it needs to be graded. Good luck finding the other 9. The Trish Speaker card, that's 1906, or Hannes Wagner, that's worth like $20 million now, is a PSA 2. But go find the other 5. I mean, you can't. So always keep in mind, the better the condition, the more limited they are, the more money it's worth. So again, the 50 count Mahomes is worth more than the 500 count Mahomes. there's a market because he's Mahomes. He wins the Super Bowl this week, and now this card doubles because the market demand will go up, right? He's the market. So that's my economics. The Joe Montana is staying at 125. So again, it shows you if you got it. I think the Jerry Rice went down. Here's a Jordan I found, 500,000 for his rookie card. I thought it was $1 million, but so it's back down to, it's deflation. It's only worth 500,000. And then the last one's the Jerry Rice rookie, which was 100 at 75. And what it means is there's several markets for it. So there's not one market. You must understand that. So again, it's an asset. These are all assets. Gold and silver are real money. The Mantle cards are not. Montana card are an asset that in a free market, people put it up for bid. There's buyers who want it. So you can see that somebody wants the Mantle card, the Montana card, and they're willing to pay for it. Hence, that's what a market is. It's strong demand, and it's pretty limited. The PSA 2s don't get that much, but those are PSA 9s. You can get 60,000 for a PSA 9 1965. I have some PSA 9s, I'm sure, of the Mantles, the Roses, and those guys, because we were real picky when I got them in the 90s at a card show. The light went on. I says, I got to get, I'm looking at 1990 hoops basketball, and there's Jordan and Bird and Magic. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. I stopped at a table, and now all of a sudden it was like, fuck, what are you doing? Go buy Mays and Mantle and Aaron and Clemente. And so then I started to do that, which is much, much smarter because the return on investment is going to be huge, and the cost wasn't much more because it was Beckett and they weren't graded. So if you could just see they were mint condition and had good corners, and I got a nice Willie Mays 65 that's probably a 9 that you knew were worth. It was like my gold and silver. When I walk out of that going, I don't need the gold graded because it's an ounce of gold. As long as it's nice. I mean, if it's scratchy, I might lose if it's bad condition, but as long as it's gold and it looks okay, we're fine. So I've got the market, I've got the right thing, and it'll go up in value. So as I was right to collect mint condition Mantle and Mays and Aaron and Clementes and Walter Payton and the 70s Steeler guys, Montana rookie, the Rice rookie. As I was right there, I'm going to be right with the gold and silver. It's the same logic. I've got the market where there's big demand, and the demand for gold and silver go through the roof because of the Titanic. You're inflating the dollar. It's the same as so for example, inflation is they printed a lot of these Mantle cards, right? We know that. Of all the Mantle cards they printed, they're probably worth, there's probably a lot worth $5 and $10 grand that are PSA 3s and 4s and 5s. There's a lot of damaged ones. But because how many PSA 9s are there, that's where it gets limited. There's not a lot of PSA 9s and even less PSA 10s. So that's one reason you get like the Jordan rookie here, right? There's not a lot of PSA 10 Jordans because you could never get the centering. This is very unusual. The centering's this good. Normally it's way off center. So if you understand that, it's because it's limited. And when it's more limited and you have the market, the demand, because it's Jordan or Mantle, Brady, Mahomes, then you have a higher value. So you're trying to get to the market, but the limited ones, the better conditioned ones are going to be worth a lot more. So there is a differentiation between all the 65 Mantle cards. So let's say there's 1 million printed, but how many are 9s? This is 1965. maybe 100. And then how many 10s are there? What, 10, 5, if you're lucky? How many 10s can there be? 65 Manals. Not, maybe this, maybe. So that's what you do. So you understand that. So that's what we're doing in gold and silver. Not only do we understand the dollar going out, so we choose gold and silver, and you could choose the Jordan rookie. And so if you have 500 grand, you could buy the Jordan rookie. You could buy the Montana rookie for 125. I don't know if you got enough for the Brady rookie. Keep in mind, the Brady rookie, there's only 10 of. And then you could buy this for 60,000, right? So you could, instead of buying gold and silver, buy those cards. The problem is, okay, I have the Mantle and it's worth 60,000. What do I do with it? I have to sell it to get the money. Now, if I only have 60,000 in my bank, I want 60,000 in gold because it's money. If I have $5 million, I can buy the Mantle and just store it, and I know it's going to go from 60 grand to zero to what it's priced in gold. So this is really what most people aren't going to understand. They're going to see their assets go to zero only in dollars. That's the key that nobody understands. In dollars, it's worth zero, but there'll be new money coming out, and that new money is going to be gold and silver. And that is what the value of the Mantle card is worth. And that's my point. Gold, okay, so the Cougarand's 2,133 in dollars. As the dollars go, so Alligator keeps saying, well, as the dollar goes down, it goes up. But the dollar keeps going down, it's not going up. My point is, because it's being held down by COMEX, once the dollar goes out, this value goes way up because everybody will want the gold value will go up because COMEX is gone to keep it down. So it'll float way up once COMEX won't be there to stop it with the derivatives. And that's really the key to it. So you want things, so you'd rather have, depends on how much money you have, but you'd rather have the gold and the silver because they are money. You don't have to sell anything. You have the money because this will be gone, right? These will go out. These will not have a value, okay? Where the hell is it? So this and this will be worthless. So keep that in mind. So your gold won't need to be priced that. So this $2,000 for that goes to it doesn't go to, it goes to zero in dollars, but now the switch is is flipped. Where now you don't need dollars for it. Now it has its own value because it's gold, and it'll be worth a house, a car. The demand will be huge because there won't be any money else to use. You won't be able to use the dollar. You won't be able to use the euro. You won't be able to use the British pound, the Swiss franc. The only thing that'll be money is gold, or this brics gold-backed currency, which is basically gold, and the Russian ruble, which will basically be gold. So these two things will be gold, and that's where you're at. So once you understand that, that's why it's easy to buy gold, and that's why it's confusing that nobody wants it. They do not understand. My last 15-minute statements is way over 99% of the people's heads. They can't fathom that the dollar will be worthless. How can it be worthless? Because if you keep printing it, as I'm saying, the PSA 9 Mantle worth 60 grand is worth a hell of a lot more than the PSA 3 Mantle, or if it's not even graded. The better the grade, there's more limited, is worth more. Well, if you flood the market with it, it's not worth anything. So is there demand in the market for it? And that's really what you're looking at. So in this case, first this Mantle, which is critical. If it's Joe Blow, nobody cares. Even if it's a PSA 10, it's not going to be worth anything. So the dollar, as it goes to zero, all the demand will go into gold and silver as if it's a Mantle card or Montana card. that will be the market. You'll buy gold and silver because it will be money. I don't understand or understand how else to explain it so people understand the concept, right? I don't know why anybody's holding money now except for 3 or 4 months worth of bills to get you to bridge you until the dollar is gone and the gold. Now, how long will that take? As soon as nobody wants the dollar, it's gone. That could be tomorrow. There is no timetable because there's billions of them. So it's basically when the foreigners open their eyes and realize they need to be in gold and not in US dollars, they sell all their US dollars. That's $130 trillion sold, coming back in, flooding the market with dollars, making it not a PSA 9 mantle. Now it's a PSA 1 mantle worth $100. That's what ends up happening. Bobby Bo, you buying gold this weekend at all? I bought silver a couple days ago. So when I had my interview, it was on Thursday. So I did this. Where's my picture of it? Okay, so I did this Thursday. And he had the buffalo, so I was excited. These were $25.80 a piece, $258 for 10. I bought this on Thursday. He had 3 ounces of gold eagles, and then he had 4 of the 10th of an ounce eagles and 4 of the 10th of an ounce maple leafs. That was it. He had 2 small bars. He said he's swamped, like between noon and 2. People are just coming in buying gold and silver, hand over fist. He said the silver I bought, it's in a box, was full at 10 in the morning. And then when I got there at 3 o'clock after the interview, it was from 2 to 3:15. I got there at 3:30. I couldn't resist driving by it. I was so excited. I did a good interview, and I'm hoping to get it so I can go buy more gold. So at that point, so I got the 10, but they were buffaloes, so I was happy with that. I asked him about the RGB ones, and he said those are from New York. Yeah, okay, I'm going to trust New York. Yeah, the Russian mafia is going to print good silver. I don't think so. So I'd rather stick with the buffalo. So I got 10. So that was Thursday. So I'm not planning on going today. They're not open Sunday and Monday. So it's like Chinese. Chinese is not open on Sunday. So I go Chinese today because they're not open on Sunday to go. And then it's the same thing with the gold. He closes at 3 o'clock today. Last week I got confused. I thought he closed at 2. So I left at like 1:30. And then I see a sign he's open till 3. So I could go there, but there's really no reason. I had a long talk with the owner. He comes to me for consultation, and he's telling me everybody's coming. And I said, I hope you're keeping some for your safe when it's about to go with brics. He gets all that. We keep talking diamonds. I said, I swear De Beers monopoly is the stupidest monopoly I've ever heard in my life. It's not anything you need, diamonds, right? You get married, maybe you buy a real diamond, maybe you buy a manufactured diamond. A manufactured diamond is $1,000. The real diamond's $6,000. So if you're really in love and the girl's not into just your money, then you can say, look, I'll buy you this one. It'll be a diamond, be $1,000. With the other 5, we'll go to Hawaii for a month or something, which would be a better thing than the spending it on the diamond. So here's De Beers with the monopoly on diamonds, but they don't know how to do it. You lower prices. So if De Beers came out and said, look, we're going to lower our prices to $1,000 for real diamonds because we have a monopoly and we got them coming out of our ears, creating a market. There is no market for it. Who's going to spend $6,000 on a diamond? Okay, for the wedding, but then after that, I'll buy her rubies or sapphires, or I'll buy her gold and silver. Why do I need to buy a diamond? And good luck trying to get your money out of it, right? At least in my gold, the gold goes up to 10 grand an ounce. There you go. The diamond is the diamond. The diamond's not money. So the diamond, there's no difference between the diamond and the mantle card, right? So I can enjoy them both, but why do I need to spend $6,000? So the bears with their monopoly, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So if it's me running the beers, my price is $1,000. Now everybody can afford them, and now you're going to get them for anniversaries, for weddings. Well, of course, weddings, but other avenues. You're going to buy them for gifts. Oh, I'm going to meet Daria. I'll buy her a diamond for $1,000. That's the different part of it. But who's going to spend $6,000 on it? And if you can afford it, if you're really, you're Bill Gates, still, what's the reason I'm buying a diamond? Just to have? I don't need a diamond, except for a wedding ring. So outside of that, there's no real demand for it. So he's got a monopoly on something there's no demand for. Whippy-doo. So it's the stupidest monopoly I've ever seen. The guy doesn't like the manufactured ones at the gold store. He likes the real diamonds. He says, but I can't sell them. They're all 6,000, but I can sell the manufacturer ones. So this is what we talk about. And then he was all excited. He sold like a $3,000 ring. So he was all excited because he probably paid $1,200 for it. So he made money because he doesn't make a lot on the gold. He buys it at spot and sells it at the $100 premium. That's all he makes on it. My advice is to jack the premium up, but everybody's running the same premium, so they can't. They're too stupid. That's where you should have the monopoly instead of in diamonds and gold, and then you could raise the price, and then people would buy them. So this guy doesn't understand the market or economics or anything. Running the bears, big deal. You got a monopoly on something. That's like having a monopoly on electric cars. Nobody cares. Nobody wants it. Bobby Bo. So, no, I'm not going to buy gold this weekend, but Monday, okay, so they've had 3 interviews, and then Professor walks in. I'm the leader in the clubhouse. They like me the best out of the 3. There's one player still on the course on Monday, so he's going to interview him Monday. I should hear Monday or Tuesday. At the end of my interview, he didn't say, when can you start? So I said, I can start now. This sounds like it's right up my alley. I'd like to work for you. If you make me an offer, I'll accept it, and I can start right away. So I kind of came out of me being stoic, saying, look, I'm going to grab the bull by the horns and say, because you're not asking me when I'm available, I'm telling you I'm available, which I'm sure he liked, that I was strong and confident and stoic, basically. So I should hear, I would say, if I get it, I'll hear Monday or Tuesday at the latest. I'll be surprised if I don't get it, beating out the other 3 people, and then this is the last. But he's got me on his mind, so he's got to be going. I got Howard's, and okay, goodbye. Who cares? So I'd be surprised if I didn't get it. I have a good feeling, but until we get it, we don't. Now, if I get it on Tuesday when we do class, and I say I got the job, then yes, the answer is going to be I'm buying gold that day. I'll start buying some gold. I usually like to wait till it's official and I start working and I start getting my paychecks. Then I start buying. But in this case, I can buy something before. Most people get married these days to feel cool and important to their friends and family. I think that's why they always got married, because they thought they were supposed to. Or they marry for money. They don't marry for the right reason. You should marry because it's stoic. You're marrying a stoic guy, and you should be all excited. But it's not even that, Bobby. It's if it's a really pretty girl, the guy's getting married to say I got a pretty wife. The girl's getting married to get taken care of. Oh, he's got money. Or there's something happening with the girl just has a nothing life and needs the companionship. But generally, yeah. I mean, that's really, they're not getting married for the right reason. You get married because it's your soulmate, and that's it. It's somebody that you want to be with every day. You want to wake up to. You want to, take her to the pool, and here's my paycheck. Let's go do this and cook for her, because you want to do it. That's the only person you should marry. Otherwise, you're out of your mind because you're with them all the time. It's like a job. It's like you playing baseball. You had to love to play baseball because you're going to play 162 games a year. So you better love playing or you're going to be fucked. That's why you can't play sports for the money. So a baseball player, a football player who only plays for the money and doesn't love the sport will never succeed because they won't like it. It's not, they really don't like it. They're there for the wrong reason, the money. That's why the marriage won't work. That's why a job doesn't work. If you take a job for the money, it ain't going to work because there's other things you do there. So he brought that up to me. He says, what was the worst job you ever had or that you wish you could take a mulligan on? And I told him this transportation company. I says, I was at Visteon, which is a subsidiary of Ford, and I loved it. It was easy. And then they were shutting down or losing money, and I got an offer to be a finance manager to transportation company so I took it, but the communication was terrible. I had no idea really what they wanted, and they never would explain it to me. So it caused a lot of stress. So I would have rather made less money at Visteon than I did at the new company. And I probably stayed 6 months and said, fuck you, because I don't take shit like that. And, I know I have the skill set, so I never really worry. Just like the Madoff job I was at, the roller, I don't have a problem quitting if I don't like it because I can wait for a new job to come, as like hopefully this one. So anyway, you got to like what you're doing. So you better get married because you love the woman and she loves you, not about the money, just like you playing baseball or golfing, these golfers or whatever. Is it in the office 5 days a week? Yes, it is. How far is it? It's 5 miles away. I live at 9 in Hagerty. The Gold Store is at 5 in Hagerty, which is 4 miles away. This is like a mile and a half after that. So it's like 6.5 miles. I don't have to get on the highway. So I timed it. It was like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get there, which is no biggie. I have some cousins who are still in debt to this day from a big fancy wedding they had 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, what are you doing, man? Why do you need a big fancy wedding? What are you trying to prove? Now, if you're rich, it's one thing. But if you're not rich, it's a party. You want to be in debt for 10 years because you had a party that nobody gives a fuck about anyway? Oh, yeah, I went to Joe and Fred's, Sue and Fred's wedding. Who cares? You could have just had it at a restaurant. Ours was at a hotel. We invited like 25 people, kept the cost down. My ex's father, and then we went to San Diego for 2 weeks and had a nice time. And then we bought a house, which makes more sense than having a party that lasts a few hours. I'm surprised that the professor don't like sushi. Bobby was strong considering ordering some volcano rolls. I didn't say I don't like it. I do like it. If Daria likes it, right, and she wants to go to a sushi restaurant, I would order it with her, right? So I would eat it with her. I wouldn't not go to the sushi restaurant. It's just I'd rather get General Chow or chicken or ribs. I got to eat, so I'd much rather do that than just go get sushi. Just my taste. I mean, I can eat tuna out of the can and get the same thing. I hope you get it, Professor, but will you cancel class today before you do? But will you cancel class today before you do? Are you asking would I have class that day? No, I would still have class. I would just celebrate. I'd go buy gold. and I'd tell Daria, and that would be it. So yeah, it would be no, I would have class. I mean, I do this because I enjoy it. It's something that's needed. I'm surprised I don't get more people, but I don't think I get a broad boost because I'm not into the commercials. So I think I'm kind of hidden. I do pick up new subscribers, but I see some of these guys with 10,000 views, and I'm like, I should have 100,000 views, but you know. No, what I think you're saying is, if, let's say I get the job Tuesday, they call you, got it. Yeah, I'll still do class. No way I can tell you I got the job, right? Most of the time, the only time I don't do class is if it's just something that I'm like going to the airport and I'm going to fly to Europe, and you know, I just there's no chance. Like when and then I'll try to do it where I'm at. Matt, will you cancel our economics class on weekdays? Oh, okay. No, I won't cancel the job, especially that football's over. Like now, we haven't really talked football yet, and I'm 2 hours into it, and so I will. I don't even know the hours. I assume it'll be 8 to 5. So no, I would probably what I would do, since it's near the gym, I would probably go on the way home to the gym and then come home and do the night class. So they wouldn't be on the afternoon like I'm doing. Well, Saturday and Sunday I do it. Normally it's for football, right? I do it now early because it's football, but I could see doing it at 7, 8 o'clock. I don't know about all 5 days, for sure Saturday and Sunday, but I might do, I could do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or something like that. It all depends what's coming on. If something big happens with brics, gold starts going up, then yeah, I would definitely come on anytime that kind of thing happens. Otherwise, no. If it's just a regular day and it's Monday and I'm tired, I might not come on that day. But for sure, probably 5 days a week, 4 days a week for sure. For sure the weekend, and probably Friday, and then probably Tuesday and Thursday, because Monday I'll be tired getting up early. But yeah, this is actually going to the office. The Harley job was great. It was working from home. He said that the owners are older guys, and their mentality is, if the workers have to come into the shop to make product, that we should be in the shop also, because they're in the shop. And I'm like, what does that have to do with it? I don't need to go in the back room. I don't really know why we need to be in the office for me to do Excel or whatever. But that's where he's at. So let's do this one more time because I fucking love it.
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free. We will stay free. And you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself. And so yesterday, I stood on this stage and said some things that I should not have said. But we all deserve a second chance. So I would like to apologize to absolutely no one. None of you were elected to show us how we should live our lives. All of you motherfuckers took your private jets to show up to this meeting, so don't lecture us about the environment. I ain't eating bugs, you can eat these nuts, and once again, you and your fake climate agenda can go fuck.
You mentioned that the biggest threat to a cohesive and sustainable world was security.
Mr. Schwab, I'm sorry, but the biggest threat to the world is the fake stream news media. And the second biggest threat to the world is this very organization, the World Economic Forum, which is the Communist Party that was not elected by the people. And that's why I keep telling y'all should go fuck yourself.
Trust has been eroding in recent years. which is why this week's meeting on rebuilding trust has been so important.
Rebuilding trust with whom exactly? I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. But here's the thing, as far as the public opinion is concerned, they don't trust you and they never will because they didn't elect you. And here's the thing, while we edit, Epstein didn't kill himself, and there are probably people in this very forum who were clients of his.
I want to party with that guy. I'll try to get him as a guest host. He'd be the only guest I could use. His name's Damon Amani Bam. That's his name. I don't know. He seemed Arabic or whatever. Not that I care, but Damon Amani Bam right there. And you got to love it. Now, he's saying what everybody thinks anyway. So that's where it gives us hope that we will not be slaves and there won't be this reset and the dollar will blow up, which is going to fuck everybody over. All these guys, you think they're in gold? You think this Charles Schwab is in gold or any of these morons? They're all rich. They don't need, they think they have money. So this will be great when the money collapses and they're all going to be worthless. Well, they'll have assets, but they'll still have their houses. We'll save them. But this was just beautiful. That's exact. See, he's saying what everybody is. How he got invited, I don't know. But I'm sure they're bitching at who did the invite. But, you know, they're exposed. How many views does this have? 17,000 views 13 days ago. See, he's not really getting what he should be. He should be getting a lot more views than 17,000. He should have like 17 million, especially for 13 days. So that's the problem with YouTube. You know, how do I get 100,000 views like Mark McGuire or somebody? Like, what the fuck is this guy getting views for? So anyway, but that's refreshing. We all agree. We all agree that they're not elected. We don't see, again, it goes back to Say's Law. Say's Law. Why do people want money? A means to an end. Take money to buy goods. You produce goods and services to get money. So how do you get money? You go work for it, right? You produce goods and services to get money, which is supply, to demand other people's things. You produce goods to get money to buy other goods. So we go to work. I'm going to go to work so I can buy gold and silver. But I'm the one determining what to buy. And what they're doing is they're coming out and they're telling us what we want. You want electric cars. No, we don't. I go get my money. I don't want an electric car. You can make it, but nobody's going to buy it. Then this idiot controlling it, we don't want you to control it. It's up to us to say control us. We're not saying control us. We're telling you to fuck off. We don't want it. So if you're really stoic, you just ignore these idiots. But I don't know that. I think you have to fight them. I don't know that you can just ignore it. Like Biden, whatever Biden says, I just ignore it. I don't get all caught up in it and most of the American politics. I just ignore it because it's all bullshit. So we'll see what happens here with that. But that's really the point, is we don't want to be controlled. Why the fuck are you trying to control us when we're not asking you to control us? We don't care. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. And or, like he said, you're all communists. We don't want to be told what to do. That's the point. We don't like communism where they told you what to do. We want Adam Smith and Say's Law, where we work, make money, and we determine what we want. See, as long as we control the markets, that's why the inflation figures are bullshit. Because we sit there and we go, well, I made money to demand other people's things, so I'm going to demand Greg Poupon, right? So I earned my money so I could buy this. But if you try to sell it to me at $20 a bottle, I ain't going to buy it. Now you lower it back down to $3 a bottle. I will buy it. That's a fair price. So I create the market. I set the price. I determine what I want to buy. That's why Coca-Cola is not $20 a bottle, because nobody's buying it for $3. it sits on the shelves, they got to lower the price because you got to sell it. So that is that. So let's talk football for a minute. I didn't see any injuries today. So my line is Kansas City -3, 47.5. The line comes out, San Francisco -1.5, 47.5. I was right on with it. I was right on with the total. Now it's at 2, 2.5. It's mostly 2. So you can tease KC +8, no brainer. And then you're just wondering, do I go over or under? And go and you say, well, 2 good offenses, 2 good defenses. And usually defense wins. So we're looking at it as both good defenses will shut down the other team, probably lead to a lot of field goals, not a lot of touchdowns. This isn't USC playing Oregon or Washington. This is more Utah playing UCLA. You're going to get lower scoring. You got Mahomes, and he's going to score some, but they'll be left with field goals. They're going to run Pacheco. And then you got Purdy, which I'm watching these little YouTube things on Purdy, and I'm going, well, he seems okay. He doesn't seem okay. He's Purdy. What's going on? Mahomes is much better than Purdy. So I don't think the Niners will be able to score that much on this defense. KC's got a great defense, but nobody realizes it because of Mahomes. So I got KC winning 20-10. So I get 8. So 28-10 is a winner. But then it takes me to an under game, 47, go under 53. And even looking at KC Baltimore was 17-10. Okay, KC Buffalo 27-24, still a 51, still under the 53. And I don't see where the Niners have a better offense than Buffalo. Okay, Josh Allen, but he's maybe a little better than Purdy. It's pretty close. Good receivers, so does Frisco. They don't run enough, Buffalo, which is their Achilles. Same thing with Baltimore. They don't run enough. It's too much the quarterback running, and it doesn't work. Purdy started to run a little, but he's not really a runner. He's only when he's just forced to do it. And there's a big difference between Purdy running when he's forced, or Aaron Rodgers running when he's forced, or even Mahomes and Burrow running when they're forced, and Lamar and Allen running because they are lousy quarterbacks who run instead of do that. So we will see that. So I got under 53.5 or 54. And you got to take the 8 with Kansas City. You've got to take the dog here. Now, if KC was favored, would I take the Niners? Good question. I don't know, but I don't have to make that determination. So I've had KC as the dog to Buffalo. They win the game straight. I have KC as the dog to Baltimore. They win the game straight. And I'm sure Bobby's going to do his money line also with KC. So he can play his teaser, and then he'll do the money line. I don't see Mahomes losing a Super Bowl like this. So that's what I see. So I think 20-10, I think the Niners are going to have trouble scoring. They had trouble against the Lions for 3 quarters, for Christ's sake. You won't see stupid coaching like the Lions. You won't see either team getting